gee, that looks like fun. Not. This is going to be the souls of modern Christians who refused to see the enemy, which is right in front of them, leading them into the ditch. And they refuse to listen to Christ himself. Rather, they would listen to their priests. Jesus, I do not care about human praise. Modern Christians praise and worship Jesus. God the Father, I despise your religious festivals. Your assemblies are a stench to me. Modern Christians hold religious assemblies, pray, dance, and sing to God. Just wondering when modern Christians are going to start listening to Jesus and God the Father instead of their priests. The Bible literally tells us that our prayers and songs are meaningless to God the Father. It literally tells us that he doesn't care about our worship of him. He doesn't care about us idolizing him. The creator of the universe does not need some puny mortal human to remind him of how powerful and wonderful he is. If you want to show God the Father how much you love him, you need to show him through actions. And if you wonder what those actions are, then just look at Jesus the Christ and what Jesus the Christ did to serve his Father. That's what's expected of you. So this is one of my favourite portraits of God. And this is how I like to see God, even though I know that God is androgynous, which means God is both male and female. I like to personify my Heavenly Father as a older, wiser, loving Father. But it is imaginary. And this is the same with all of the portraits of Jesus the Christ. This is just what we project and what we want to personify Jesus as. So we have to remember what idols are for. Idols are to personify the indefinable. They're not to worship. Okay, modern Christians, I want you to go read Mark 4:11-12, and I want you to understand what Jesus is telling you. He's telling you that he is only a symbol. He's telling you that the Bible is just parables. He's telling you not to take the parables literally. Yet you're going to churches, you're going to organized religion where the men who wear holy robes are telling you the opposite. They're telling you to take everything literally. So you have to remove yourself from this belief that Jesus is actually a character that existed and understand he is the symbol for the firstborn divine man. He is the right arm of God the Father. He is the first extension of God the Father. He is divine as opposed to mortal. So you have to understand the difference between a divine soul and a mortal soul. And you have to understand he is the arm of God the Father. Okay, so it seems like I'm going to have to address this once again because this is something that modern Christians really do grasp onto. They love to delude themselves that God is just going to see them as more special than someone else and bestow grace upon them. Even though this isn't actually mentioned anywhere in the Bible at all, other than in relation to the divine souls, but because modern Christians have not gone and done the due diligence, they don't actually know the difference between a divine soul and a mortal soul. This is something their priests have never discussed with them. And so when the Bible talks about grace, the Bible is actually relaying that it is the grace of the Heavenly Father to his divine children. It's not mortals. Mortals need to engage in the works. So I had a discussion with a love and lighter today, and he assured me that he was God and he was creating his own reality. And in fact, he said we were all gods and we were all creating our own reality. So I thought that I would relay this teaching from a Hermetic writing, the Kybalion. The spirit of my Creator is inherent within me, and yet I am not He. How different this from the shocking half-truth, so vociferously announced by certain of the half-wise, who fill the air with their raucous cries of I am God. The all is the earthworm, and yet the earthworm is far from being the all, and still the wonder remains that though the earthworm exists merely as a lowly thing, created and having its being solely within the mind of the all, yet the all is immanent in the earthworm. Why am I now seeing lots of modern Christians praying to other deities like angels? Where does the Bible instruct us to pray to and worship other deities besides God? The fact modern Christians have been fooled into worshipping a divine human Jesus as their God is bad enough. But to then start worshipping other deities as well, all while claiming to be followers of Christ? The Bible's very clear about two things. Jesus does not care about our worship of him. In other words, it's meaningless to him. And that all praise and worship goes to God the Father. 1 Peter 1 and John 5:41. So I think maybe more reading of the Bible and less reading of social media.